One is looking good. We didn't give much of a chance to Mirage, to be honest. It's certainly showing us wrong so far. 12-3 is Woxic, so that's pretty huge.
Yeah, especially with an ace on a pivotal round that's forced NRG onto a menagerie of a bye. If they lose this one, obviously the loss bonus will continue to build, but you can see Hellraisers going up to 7 or 8 rounds off the back if they're able to grab this one. These are the rounds, though, that I did say that the new North American powerhouses, the NRGs, the Liquids of the world, are able to contest for now. They have a lot more firepower. They have a lot of players who love to play the heads-up CS, and this will be one of those scrappy rounds if they're able to grab it. Posturing in middle once more. Ethan, Breezy, and Cirque, the power trio. A lot of work to do as Angel from the underpass. He's going to jump out, gets taken down. They have to trade off of that. Where is it? No, it doesn't fall in their favor. Cirque with that AWP grabs one of his own, and the AUG strikes. It all falls apart. With all that work, now they're the ones who are about to get reset. They don't have any money left in the bank, Matt. It is a 2-on-5, but it feels hard. It feels very difficult.
Fugly sneaking back out at Palace could have an absolute round right now. Not quite. They've just gone around. Now the problem becomes this, even considers it. If Fugly goes and does want to push and calls that A-main's clear, I don't imagine they'll be that foolish. They rotate too soon, could have an issue. Nonetheless, they're still on the site. Flashes go in, that'll confirm it. Ethan playing an off angle, waiting at the top of the jungle position. Says the Molotov even go toward the shadow. That brings Fugly back down toward the door of Palace, and Ace is going to have nowhere to go. Fugly could even peek and potentially get a headshot. The second he emerges...
Poor Daps.
It's all right. He'll be okay. He'll be all right come morning.
Jumps on up, thinks he's doing the right thing.
Wanted to pincer him.
It's like, oh, we've got this one. It should be an easy kill.
Yeah. He's not going to be looking at me.
So now, that's where the reset comes in. So what was looking so good for Hellraisers quickly falls apart, right? Those very close rounds, the fact that Issa, well, when we had the 3-on-1 situation with Fugly, those kills that he was able to get, look at how the trickle-on effect, right? You have to understand he didn't win the round, but what he's done, or what he was able to do, is force Hellraiser's economy to be left in disarray. And now they've had to take a save. They've had a bit of a deco round coming out.
Can't do anything with his deagle. So it will be a kill apiece for both Ethan and Daps. 4 on the second one. For Cirque, excuse me. No, it was Daps. Trying to see the monitors on an angle, and I was leaning back, I was relaxing, I was trying to go with the flow of the game.
It's one of the chill rounds, though, Matt.
It was, and I read Daps, but then I saw Cirque had a kill, and basically I've confused myself, and now I'm justifying it to the world because I'm insecure.
We all are.
Issa waiting in a 1-on-4 with the deagle in hand is going to try and peek it back, but there's nothing been done with these weapons other than a single solitary kill for Hobbit. His 4th.
He did struggle earlier. Well, they did have a win earlier in the tournament on this map, and Hobbit, he didn't get many kills, but I guess he didn't need to. It was quite a decisive victory. Someone is going to have to drop Ethan, though.
This is arguably the biggest contest that NRG have had in the last 2 matches because they handled VP quite convincingly.
Yeah, obviously they lost to Liquid, but that's what we expect to be the final, right? So, however that one goes down. Okay, another save round. Another save round for Hellraisers here. They do have a couple Tech 9s. They have a little bit of utility. Want to head over towards this B bomb site. They were able to exploit it earlier, and pressure's on Daps. The in-game leader has to stand up. This is a quick approach. Has the AWP. Isn't going to hit the shot. And now he should be locked out. He shouldn't be going for anything too aggressive until his riflers get on site. This becomes possible now with the bomb down.
Absolutely it does. Ethan, Molotov in the site's going to take Angel, pushes him out. It certainly is possible with these pistols, but they've got a position. They've certainly got cordoned off, and Cirque's even ready for the aggression toward Checker. Spots 2, goes back for more. That's going to allow Fugly to push out, knowing the dead Fox was in the doorway. Dinked as he may be, it's a kill nonetheless. Voxic trying to build off the back of that damage. First, he has to go into battle with Daps, and Daps seemingly willing as he guns forward, and that's the final kill. In the meantime, Hobbit had gone down, and it's 5-4.
Just to note, what NRG did well there was sitting back, because once the pistol, sure, they had the bomb site, sure, they got the bomb down. But you need to be relatively assertive because that happened also quickly. NRG have a lot of utility left in the back pocket. They can flush you out of all of those close range positions. you need to be a little bit more in their face, and that's what they tried to do. So NRG was well aware that was the play. That was the only option. Sat back, made the kills in transition. Once they had the number advantage, now they're able to collapse onto the bomb site. All in all, though, Hellraisers have to be happy with the plan, and now they get the gun round underway. All the goodies. Voxic with the AWP. Looks like they want to go for a bit of a mid-pressure here. 4 players heading over towards that section of the map, while Deadbox will be looking after underpass. So default spread, and they really want to contest mid-control, because we did see how heavily NRG were playing those three-pronged attacks earlier.
Ethan is staring perfectly through the smoke, but does not know it, and no sooner would he have found that out that he's changed his angle, so as always in Counter-Strike. A miss as good as a mile, he was never there at all. Molotov, or rather incendiary if we want to be technical, at the ready. Breezy can still help aid Catwalk with his position in the ladder room. Very passive position. You're essentially waiting for it to play into your hands rather than having any chance to peek out and get information. Sort of have to be aware now as they go around, looks for a double, can't quite spray the second as Hobbit gets the trade, but that gives Daps an angle from the apartments. It's still not easy though. Voxic's got yet another kill, and that's going to take them back over toward A. So, rotation required. Daps missing a shot. Now where does it go? Because the bomb could easily swing back. It certainly, with Ethan going down, could and should, but Fugly the last alive, they're not too concerned with it. With 33 seconds, he has to clutch back on 1 versus 4, knows the bomb is going to be in the A site, but look who's waiting. Voxic yet again.
So out of the 6 rounds so far that Hellraisers have won, 3 of which, and 3 of the more pivotal, have been rounds where they have lost the opening duel but traded back. That's fantastic stuff there. That's showing proficiency in those 4-on-5 situations. Whereas NRG, they're continuing to find opening kills. They found it in quite a few rounds, and every single round they've won actually they have needed the opening kill. But they actually have the lion's share of opening kills in this game so far. So not having the same opportunity as Overpass to get that opening kill and fall back. This is the 3-pronged mid attack again. They have to be more aggressive. They feel the need to seek out and not give control to Hellraisers. And this time round, it's more of a back and forth trading affair.
Ethan trying to swing, flashed off it, knows that there's likely company down below. He couldn't get out of there. Overcommitted, he suddenly became aware, and the garbage dispenser decided to close in on him like it was Chewbacca, Han Solo, Luke, and Leia.
If you haven't seen that movie,
it's called Star Trek. Check it out. Captain Picard's great.
You were probably born in the 2000s.
Millennials.
Disney really ruining that franchise, aren't they?
Let's not get into that one. Let's leave that alone. They won't leave mid alone, though. They do go back for it. Dead Fox gets taken out, so yeah, that's not bad considering they were forced off so aggressively to start it off.
Now they have all 3 players on site coming through connector here, so things get even harder for Hellraisers. If they get the bomb down, that, in my eyes, is a victory, considering the jaws are closing. That garbage disposal you were talking about is going to do the damage. Daps will hit an AWP shot and put a lot of pressure on Issa, who did see win a clutch earlier. Gets the second. He's left on 6 points of health. This one here is not going to be easy, and Fugly will eventually pick it up. They almost made a mare of that one.
Bit of a mare. Nonetheless, 6-5. Another round. Fugly's been in them consistently. It seems he's the one that's trying to be the last alive, or they're about to clutch it back. He only has 5 kills, but a win's a win in that case, and certainly it is when you're 1 round the difference. Hellraisers still, though, on T-side with 6 already, looking all right.
Hellraisers should buy, in my opinion, here. The money is a little bit scattered. You know, they have to discuss how they're going to manage the finances, but there's more than enough to get the buy up and running. And both teams able to get a big green. Both teams having to supplement with SMGs. But all in all, this could be the make or break round of the half. If Hellraisers are able to do this here, put NRG on the back foot, and they could maybe even grab a 10-5-9-6 scoreline. But it can work either way. We're at a very pivotal point right now. Cirque did spot a player jump peeking, and he thinks he wants to go for more, and he's going to push up into a more aggressive line. They might think it's clear. Oh, the timing. The flash comes out. They're going to know that there is a player close. They don't know the weaponry in hand. Either way, this right here could be the jewel of the round.
Run, gun, get it done. It's Dead Fox to take out Daps. Cirque just waiting patiently, please. I dare you. I dare you to go. Please go. No? All right, utility instead. Couldn't hold the patience long enough for the op to find the shot, so Dead Fox backs away with the smoke thrown in deep.
Look at all the map territory there, Matt. Look where Hobbit and Angel are.
That's a good point. Certainly can work from the ladder, and actually, if they can cut off the rotations and get... this is absolutely be all day, because they've already rotated off. Hobbit pushes through, cuts us out the vents. Problem is there's no one else close to be, so he's actually gone over to 8 in the take. That's going to work out terrifically as well. 6 of one, half dozen of the other. Get the site, get the bomb down. That's the name of the game. More so because it's going to be only one round for Liquid, and then an immediate reset. 3 players need pretty much to stay alive at this point in time. Ethan with the MP9 could certainly justify going in to try and farm up a little bit of cash. That gun's not really worth much.
Yeah, if he can grab a rifle, just grab a cheeky kill in a close angle, carry that through the next round, they could be competitive probably for the rest of the half, considering the way the lost bonus will start to flow. But when you save 3 weapons like this at this stage of the game, normally you're going to see NRG buy whatever they can in the next to be competitive, because you don't want to give too much of a lead to Hellraisers on this T side. And they've already shown the fact that they love to go for these force buys. They think they can get a lot done with very little. It was quite unlucky timing for the NRG players over towards the B-bomb site. You saw Cirque pull out a flash at the wrong time. You saw Daps pull out a smoke at the wrong time. Game's not just about clicking heads, it's about timing. And that's one of those situations where it fell in the favor of Hellraisers. And Dead Fox, a man we pointed out having very little impact on the first map, has had at least 3 rounds where he's been able to find enough kills or enough information that have helped Hellraisers post-round. So he's turned it around. He's back on the board. Hellraisers looking like they're in with a shot on this one.
Cirque. Quite capable of hitting the shot, capping the smoke as it were. He was not quite perfect. It's all right, neither am I. Angel, he's going to take down Ethan. That's only after he found Issa, though, so now we find them just 1 man down on the NRG side. But Hellraisers doing the job, doing the task. If they can find an 8th round, it would be miraculous. All things considered, Daps is still on the MP9, by the way, so that's not going to be all too lovely for them. Fugly holds Angel to try and get back in corner position at Connector. Smoke deep in behind. He'll know that Angel's going to be walking up. Did he spot the gun barrel? I think he just did. Now he certainly has. And Angel gone. That brings us to 3-3. And Daps trying to get close with his MP9. Should actually get a kill on this unboxing.
Oh no, he's been baited in.
Hobbit's made it in, but jumping it with the AWP and the bomb. Box 6 down. Cirque gets Dead Fox because he knew that he was... oh, excuse me, was working on his own. I was going to say Fugly. There it is, pushing out to get Hobbit. I think Daps was aware that they were going to be inside a Connector at that point in time.
That was that was a dicey moment there. I think Fugly has to be pointed out as the man coming up clutch to get it down to the 3-on-3 situation. At that point, it becomes anybody's round. Daps' aggression, the re-aggression, the fact that they know that they have a teammate close to swing and trade. This is good awareness. And once again, it is a lower buy coming out from Hellraisers. Both teams being kept very honest. The double op set up. It looks like the B play, or at least the B side, lean from Hellraisers. That's where they have been finding a lot of their success.
Certainly have. Ethan, meanwhile, not quite capable of finding the shot to Connector. Certainly reveals he's there. AK in hand. AK will work. Noxic goes down. No one fires back. Bombs drop temporarily as well. In anticipation that they were going to be low. Fires again. They double peek, and he manages still to get around the corner as the smoke removed itself. No more clouded judgment. Ethan's able to relocate accordingly, but this has gotten Fugly back, who seemed really eager to get in that position, despite that his teammate was not too eager to be there and had the information.
I love the peeking off of each other's contact. These are little details. These are the things that make me smile with Counter-Strike. Hellraisers, they've had really big individual performances to make rounds fall in their favor, right? We obviously had the Woxic ace in the early stage with the AWP over towards that B-bomb site. We had Issa almost win that 1-on-3 situation. We've had Dead Fox with some multi-kills, Angel with some multi-kills. Players really making impact, and then they're able to close out the round eventually off of what was a massive step forward. Whereas NRG, it feels to me, at least like they're constantly playing off of each other, which is a great thing to look towards. I'm not saying Hellraisers aren't. It's just on the T side, they're needing the heroics because they're being fought by a team. You know what I mean? Like when they're getting picked, it's not just one player. you have to be heads up and hit a really good second shot, because NRG are always going to be trading off of each other, right? So when you do step up, when you are able to isolate the 1v1 duels, that's where Hellraisers are finding a lot of their success. And it's not easy to do that against NRG, so massive props to them for being able to isolate duels, continue to keep map territory, and stay calm, not running into the blender. Because once you see one NRG player, it's likely you're going to see 2 or 3.
So we'll take the time required for the last round, round 15. And finally, Hellraisers, I say finally speaking from the NRG perspective, but finally they've been depleted of their money, and it'll be desperate times and all that. So back over to Pistols, second time they've had to go in this half. Deagles last time didn't yield much success. Angel, Tech 9. Don't see it as often anymore. In fact, it looked like it was sort of coming back to favor with some of the recent changes, and then it kind of went away again.
That's the thing. I think the way that people are playing the game at the moment with closing the distance, like they're actually using utility, so the CZ for that close range, I guess, spurt is still more than enough. You remember the old days when people used to do the full executes in the Tech 9 with the run and gun off the back of those? We're not seeing that same level. We're seeing more, you know, taking a duel on a corner, getting a gun, and then playing the mid-round more. It's not all in like it used to be back in the Fnatic MV era, where it was just buy everything you can, throw all the utility you got, and find the kills in the flurry. Look at B, it's left open again.
Yeah, it's wide open, isn't it? That's kind of peculiar, considering they're the ones with guns, but they're going to get the single kill on Angel. That's just going to actually persuade them further toward B. This is, yeah, questionable.
With lots of gamble leans, right? They sent 2 players underpass seeking out information, and at least, you know, they get a chance to retake as a team, something they've been doing fantastically, but they are giving themselves an option here for Hellraisers to pull a miracle back.
Taps looking for it, waits with the AWP, no utility down because they don't have any, so he's got that doorway to play with. It's all the vision in the world. This is his kingdom as far as the eye can see. Wanted to take a shot, but his teammate gets in the way. They still go in. Zerg downed. Fugly's got an angle. They'll rush it. Hobbit, he drops Daps. Had to go aggressive on that AWP. He's the only one left, however, and sprayed through the wall.
Oh, it's going to be close.
I think they got it. They got a kit. It's all gravy, baby.
Yeah, felt a bit tighter than it actually was, I guess. There was a, you know, these last seconds. Obviously, it's been for some time now, but we've added 5 seconds to that bomb timer. I actually think that change as well, it allows on certain maps, especially like Dust 2. Remember, like, if the bomb went down on Dust 2 and you were going for like a full-on flank play from long, you had to just be pedal to the metal, right? You couldn't actually take it slow. You had to run and be very noisy. Now you actually get a chance to posture late. I think that's like a cool change with that. And obviously, that buoyed certain teams' playstyles. We always know that SK were really good and patient because their communication was fantastic in those retakes. An extra 5 seconds, that should be the play from everybody, right? You can wait a bit, you're going to wait for them to make a play, and then you can go. Obviously, the meta continues to evolve. Teams have been holding on to utility, making life a little bit harder. But all in all, that was a fantastic half of CS. Both teams really showing some positive signs. Voxic showing the form earlier in the tournament, 16 kills for him. 5 of those coming from an ace, a massive round that he did have earlier in the piece.
So 8-7. They pull it back, NRG, as it looked like Hellraisers were in command of the half for the majority of it, to be fair. But we'll get things underway. Pistols were 2-0 in the first map in favor of NRG. It's 1-0 Hellraisers so far this time around. We'll find out now how that transpires. Entitled to the time at the half. They've taken it all.
All right. Getting stuck in here.
Oh, that's you.
That's
Just
me.
trying to figure out which button's mine so I can cough. Carry on.
We have the buy coming in from NRG. They've got a smoke and 2 flashes in the hands of Daps. As Matt plays Silly Buggers. Dead Fox has a smoke and a kit this time round. So still having to buy the utility for his team, and he's going to get all the pressure as I think it's going to be a B rush. 4 players steaming on him with those Glocks. He's going to try and drop back. Drops his smoke, gives him something to play around. But Breezy, too good, too quick, too sharp, too fast in his face, and follows up with a second.
That's a fast pistol. Oh my goodness, Breezy, just overrunning them. And that's so frustrating because they rush B, and you peek out and think like, maybe I'll just get one, but everyone's just overrunning you. Breezy, what a round. He's got 3. Ethan's got 1. Those 2 together are fantastic. I think one of the duos that people are starting to give more praise to, and rightfully so. And Issa is kind of hanging out with his wang out. And by wang, I mean USP silenced.
Would you say that's like a larger member than normal?
No.
Just the average?
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a joke in there about the silencer being attached versus removed. But we'll leave that alone.
We'll let the viewers at home use their imagination.
Deduce from that what they will. 9-7, so Pistols do go 1-1. 3-1 in the series. AK brought out for Ethan. Mac 10s galore.
Well, they are expecting the eco from Hellraisers. So this is curious, right? Certain maps, the Force Spy in the second, can make a lot of sense. Like Scouts at range on Overpass, we talked about how proficient they can be. There are different bits and pieces of maps where you could go for buys, but here they've gone for the econ. They've actually gone for the B-stack, and that's where the train of Mac 10s is headed. The flash as the utility comes out. Fugly will spot one. They jumped into the sides. Getting knifed by Dead Fox, who's actually going to get that kill. What absolute madness was that? The guy didn't even shoot a bullet. He just went straight for the knife kill. They're not going to get the round, but that knife kill is going to allow him to have more than enough money in the bank to drop an AWP over to Voxic. Let's see how pivotal that is. I would love to see that from his perspective. Here it is. He's just, oh, I'm just going for the knife. He didn't even worry about bringing the pistol out. Interesting.
When you're all in, you're all in.
Yeah, man. And this here is where we need to take note because that knife has allowed something which wouldn't have been possible before. Voxic, highest rated player in the tournament, to pick up his favorite weapon and will posture to the most synonymous position with it on Mirage. That will be the window. NRG are going to take things slower. They can identify where that AWP is early. Can use all that utility. Block his lines of sight. And give themselves an easier path with these bonus guns, these bonus weapons. The bonus round, right? That's
the bonus round.
Still calling it the bonus
round?
round?
Yeah, it's not the same, but this is a bonus round for sure. You've got 3 SMGs, but it's not like it used to be, right? Like the 3-round spread, you've already got cash built up. Now you don't have as much cash built up, so you actually are risking a little bit more by doing it.
That's true. I used to love the bonus rounds where we'd keep 4 players alive with SMGs. I'd always have a set execute on the CT or T side that we could, run with. Feels that approach, like you're saying, is going to drop off a little bit due to the new inherent nature of the loss bonus.
Yeah, for example, right now, like the whole point of the bonus round is that even if you lose it, you're going to be able to buy next round. Obviously, Breezy's in a good position. Circuit 1400, Daps, if they get a kill on the SMGs, you're fine. But like Ethan and Fugly especially wouldn't be, so it's not quite the same as it would have been.
Yeah. They will definitely still buy in the following, but I 100% that they won't have the optimal situation. They've done the default spread. They've baited out limited utility from Hellraisers, and now they are getting the boys back together. Oh, looks like a B execute.
Boys are back in town. Looks like waiting down below the window as well, though, was Dead Fox. That's pretty impressive that they're able to find that angle that quickly and concisely. Is that what I think it was? No, okay, it wasn't. I thought it was for some reason. It looked blue on my screen, but Ethan's got it nonetheless. Angels backed off, smokes down. They may have to save.
I made such a big deal about Voxer getting that AWP. He didn't even get to shoot a bullet.
Yeah, not what you love to see.
Not what you love to see at all. And now the AWP is left on an absolute island. It's stuck on that B bomb site.
We're on an island, Chad.
We are. A beautiful island at that.
It's very nice. Get around quite quickly.
What do they got here? They got, they have...
Taxify?
Yeah, it's a beautiful looking place. They've got a lot of history.
Oh, okay. I thought you were going
There's the food, lots of seafood.
Tons.
Beautiful women.
Yes.
What else they got? I guess I've named the most important things.
You've named it all. Yeah, adventure. A sense for adventure. Also tax-free, since I know you like money.
I do like money.
Shouldn't say free. Nothing's ever free, right? There's always stipulations.
It's a trade-off of some kind.
Yeah, exactly. You have to give them a kidney or something like that when you move in.
I guess the trade-off of Dead Fox being very cheeky with a knife is the AWP has 0 impact. So put that one in your pipe and smoke it. As they will force buy behind the saved weapons. Well, sorry, I say force buy. Let me reiterate. They will upgrade a little bit. 5.7s in the hands of Voxic and Dead Fox. They do have the 3 rifles, so this is more the competitive of Angel, the guy who made all the plays in that overpass game for Hellraisers. Feels he needs to do the same.
Sneaks out. Actually gets away with that. I thought Ethan was going to get the better of him because he was sneaking through a smoke that was rather innocuous. Breezy. Oh, the flash. He's going to get pushed. Foxic. Oh, just barely gets away with it. He'll now get an AK for his troubles. Daps. Still trying to work inside of the smoke at window. Comes through gray screen. Pre-fires toward the vent. That was all too easy for the swing of Issa. And it looks like we're going to go to 11 to 8.
The fact that they can do that with the saved rifles alone is a positive sign. Cirque almost grabs a kill. Flash comes out. Not going to expect one close as Hubbard will finish him off. Whatever Fugly can do here, however many kills he can get, that should be his goal. Make sure you kill 3. Not the 3 remaining, just 3 out of 5. That was one of the rules that one of my early in-game leaders told me. When we're in these situations, unless it was pivotal for us to hold on to the weapon, try and grab 3 kills every time. And they're going to manage that. Just so people are aware, the reason you do that is when you have a close game and economic struggle, you want to make sure that they can't drop the 2 guns.
Yeah,
right?
sure.
It's different now. I'm talking 1.6 days where the only things that matter were rifles. Rifles and deagles. That was all that mattered. Nowadays, CZ75, you got more than enough to get damage done. But when you're talking high-level Counter-Strike, every piece of utility matters. So NRG will be able to buy. We do have a tactical pause. They're just going to discuss through what the best option is, where they really want to take this, because they haven't been able to get into a flow in this T-half yet. What have they established? B presence. They know they have to keep that B execute honest. They got away with a pretty simple gun round before on that bonus we discussed. They've also favored it on the pistol round and one of the early anti-eco rounds. So they're conditioning Hellraisers to those features of those executes. So how that flows in when we get to the later stages, we'll make sure we keep an eye on that. But I would expect this to go back to normality now. More of a default spread. Grab that mid control like they went for just then. See what territory they can get and go from there. Pause is ending. Freeze time ticking down. We're going to get stuck on in as now both teams will have the big green up. So we may get to see a chance to see Cirque versus on AWPs. Cirque hasn't really needed to have too much impact thus far with the AWP. He's going aggressive. Middle flash comes in, but exchange back and forth. He's going to find the opening. Doesn't get a chance to get the second. Cirque with an absolutely bizarre double kill there.
Yeah, that's not really an angle you would expect to get one on, but he gets it nonetheless. Dead Fox waiting inside of the site. He's going to extinguish some flames at the van and try and hold back toward the vent. I'm not really sure I agree with extinguishing those because although it allows him to transition, he loses a lot of vision, and therefore Breezy's already down behind the truck. Nate goes that direction. Actually, Molotov's going to force them out. These footsteps will reveal, so he may get recovered simply from that alone as he waits for Breezy to show up. Finds one, swings back, knows Fugly's there, but looking down from above, he finds the angle, and it's a 2-on-1 versus Hobbit, who's on the flank. Quite a ways away, though.
Dead Fox did a good job of delaying and allowing, the potential for a trade to come in, but Fugly found that kill in transition. That was basically it as Hobbit, with all the work to do, he's going to go for this one. It's timing. The apartment's going to be his enemy again, and now all pressure on Fugly. 1v1 situation, 34 points of health, 2 flashes, but I wouldn't expect them to get used. Hobbit with the smoke though, Matt, and no kit. Has to solve this puzzle quickly.
Fugly tries to find it. Hobbit still has the angle, but he's got to sneak him out. Oh, the smoke. He can't quite catch him before he fades away inside of it. Now he knows the situation, taps the bomb, no kits. That makes it all too easy for Fugly, who kept track of himself the entire time. And it's 12 to 8, 4 rounds to go for NRG to make their way to the final. 2
key kills in that round for Fugly. Obviously, while they were waiting for that smoke that Dead Fox threw down to dissipate, the rotation came in. That frag from him was massive. And obviously the 1v1, using Hobbit's own smoke against him. There's that double.
Again, not an angle you'd normally see that on.
No.
2 players pushing mid, and they just happen to be lined up.
He got lucky with the timing there and unlucky with the timing in B apartments. So
yeah, it goes one way and the other.
Time's the cruel mistress, isn't it?
It is, isn't it? It's
you
one
got
of the only
wrinkles that are staying
certainties.
now?
Sorry?
You have any wrinkles that are staying now?
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, the forehead is where mine are coming in.
Maybe.
You can't see with all the makeup
forehead.
we wear.
Yeah.
We wear.
Yeah. I don't know what's my biggest sign of age so far. Maybe the fact that it, hangover's like 6 days now, and getting out of bed in the morning takes a little more effort.
Mine's my melancholy state of existence is.
Yeah, that could be that. Just being generally jaded. This one's going to kick off in a fast fashion. Fugly's got Foxic. That's 1 for 1 because he had Daps, but overall it's still the advantage to NRG. And that favors the T side considerably because usually any trade favors them, and the fact that they've got a man advantage and still 58 seconds to work with is pretty good.
Look at this, just the turret from Breezy. Hello, you want to step into my line? I'm going to take you down any day of the week. And well, the frags continue to fall in the favor of NRG here as it's left Issa and Dead Fox with more than a little bit of work to do.
Someone's back up on top of the smoke. It's deep enough, or shallow enough, depending on the side you look at it, but deep enough on that ticket booth that he can actually get up without being spotted. So he'll try and do exactly that as Fugly plants the bomb safe behind triple. It's Breezy that's got the shot over top. That's another round, 13-8, secure. Dead Fox wants to try and pick up a gun. $0 in his wallet right now.
Yeah. After what was a very competitive first half, it feels like things have more than fizzled for Hellraisers, right? With the signs of life, everyone was playing well. Dead Fox has stepped his game up. Voxic and Issa towards the top of the scoreboard, all the normal win conditions going in their favor. But NRG bullying that B-bomb site early, stopping those attempts from Hellraisers with Dead Fox's cheeky knife. And now it just feels business as usual. They're just going through the paces.
Ooh, Fugly.
I love their aim, man. These kids are so crisp. I know Fugly really doesn't fall into the same realms of an Ethan or a Breezy, but the fact that he's been a consistent factor in North American Counter-Strike as an anchor player shows that he's a great teammate, right? If there's any question of what does Fugly bring to the team, I'm sure that his teammates would sing his praises because he's been kept around for a very long time.
Daps has played with him a lot.
Yeah.
And I think that he fits Daps' kind of style. If you go back to the way they played Cash, he's a very good CT player and being conservative. Yeah, I won't quite put him on like the Zipix or Crim's level, but of a similar nature. The problem is that every now and then he does overextend and tries to be a bit of a hero when he doesn't need to be. But yeah, teammate-wise, I would agree with you on that one. First kill goes against Voxic with just the pistols. That's not surprising.
Everybody wants to be the striker, not the defender.
I like to be the midfielder and swing both ways. But it's also because I had the feet of an elephant.
Okay.
And I used to just, I mean that in terms of finesse on the ball.
Sure.
But I was fast, so I'd run everything down and just pass it instantly. That was my job.
Because you got a lot of with that. You could be the feet of element that you were slow.
Yeah, it's a hockey. I don't know what the equivalent is. Like I had lead feet, but then I was still quick. That doesn't work either because you'd be slow. I don't know what the equivalent is. In hockey, you say you have the hands of an elephant when you can't stick in a well or something.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know what they say in football. Like I was fast, but I didn't have any finesse.
We've spoken about elephants a lot today.
We have.
Someone
They've
tweeted
got big
me
tusks
some suggestions
and trunks
of the name of the elephant. They said.
Oh, did they?
Yeah, they said.
They didn't tweet me. Where's my ats?
What did he say? Hold up. Let me get this.
A chopped liver these days or what?
I don't know.
You get it because nobody loves me. It's fine. I get it. My mom does. That's all I need. The rest of you.
Well, and your dog.
Leave me alone.
He said
my dog does love me, although
Dumbo, Pinky.
Oh, Dumbo the flying elephant. Yep.
And
Pinky
Ellie.
because he's pink. And what?
Ellie.
Ellie because it's an elephant. Okay,
Yeah.
I get the logic on all of them. I'll go with Dumbo as my favorite, but I'm not really a fan of any of them.
That movie was really trippy as a kid.
What about Babar?
Yeah, I do recall that. Cartoon for all y'all playing at home. Now it's going to be a set piece onto the A-bomb site here. They've done a bit of misdirection over towards middle. 3 players out of apps. It's going to be a contact play, I think, man. I don't think there'll be much utility behind this. This is the jewels. This is the bread and butter of NRG. As the flash comes, now they step, now they fight. Fugly trying to make space. He even gets a kill.
Cert gets Issa, though, and that's, again, going to be a site, I won't say open, but available for the taking. Jesus. More so when Cert finds Voxic stepping out from the stairs after already firing at one player running by. What did he expect? I'm not sure. Ethan will play at the sandwich. Dead Fox escapes the flames, but gets inside of the smoke. Hard to breathe in smoke, I'm told, but Dead Fox won't choke. He'll actually get one, then traded. It's going to be down to just Angel, and this looks like map and series point for NRG secured.
Gonna have to be the Guardian Angel right here if Hellraiser's chances in this tournament. As it's slipping out of their hands, it looks like it will be a save. No one's offering themselves up on a silver platter. Doesn't have a defuse kit. No utility to even mask his presence. Going for that bad boy as everyone's going to scamper back towards a ramp. Angel's not going to get anything done. No kills to stat pad. And frags to keep the economy low. At this point, it doesn't even matter. We've got 3 players over 10k for NRG. They're not going to have any troubles closing this one out as the money. Absolute mess for Hellraisers.
Utterly insane. Yeah, it's not great. So this could be the series for them, unfortunately, unraveling.
You could just run up a ramp and take some heads-up jewels here. There's only a couple of Molotovs in play for Hellraisers, so it's unlikely they're going to disperse of those early.
Voxic's been a team player and bought the only kits. But they do have some utility, you're right, and they've got 2 FAMASas and an M4. It's not impossible. It's certainly a winnable round, but circumstance will have to work in their favor. disruption in mid. Angel wants to swing out the catwalk to try and take the battle back, and actually does successfully find Ethan sneaking down the wall toward the lock and key, toward the old CPL vent. Hobbit's got a second to follow it up, so we're looking all right, actually. And in fact, it's one of the MP9s with the kills, not just the rifles.
I already highlighted this for NRG earlier, that they do have trouble closing. Now, in the first game, no problems at all. Here, they just went for a more heads-up duel, a faster way of playing, and I expected that. That's what I was hoping they would do. With the overextension in apartments, now it gets more than interesting, as Hellraisers shouldn't drop this one. You trade efficiently at this point, you win the round. You grab another one, you pick up some AKs, things are looking good, but it will be that B approach again. The same smoke comes out from Dead Fox to delay. It's enough. The misdirection is there. From Catwalk, Angel, the impact is going to be big, and Cirque, he's got it all to do. 1 on 5. Now, let's have that rule. Keep the golden rule. Kill 3. Doesn't matter how you do it.
That's right. 1 for 1's not good enough. Kill 3. Hobbit, gonna kill Cirque. They won't get 3. They'll get 1.
3 AKs quickly picked up. He's really the only one.
That's a significant step forward from 2 MP9s and 2 FAMASs. So 3 AKs, CT sides, money still fine for this round, probably the next on the NRG side.
This is where, Matt, the mind of an in-game leader comes in, right? In the sense of, okay, we played a little bit looser and we were unable to find those opening jewels, so let's, either do an all-in execute or let's slow it down to a default and do our normal spread. Looks like they are going to go for 3 players over towards middle, 2 over towards that B-bomb site where they did find weakness. Cirque set up with the AWP to kill anybody jump spotting, but it is where all the spam is going down.
That is a lot of spray. Angel, yeah, I was going to say, you got to back away from that one eventually because you got to reload. He was desperate.
Yeah, well, you saw the need for him to make a play in the last round, and he was the reason they were able to get that. He had a lot of impact, but here, now he's fallen. We talk about this with players like Simple, but he's the type of guy who he'll make a play and they'll win 9 out of 10 times. Angel's more out of a guy who'll make 5 out of 10 times.
Voxic gets around inside of the B site, going to self-boost to watch window. That'll give Dead Fox some further information when they get closer to his position back quad, remember. In fact, I take it back, he's relocated. He wants to play directly. Ooh, below the drop. That was tempting fate, jumping up into an op that was pre-aimed in that position, but couldn't quite land. Voxic now ready for the crossfire, finds one. Dead Fox, good position, wants the headshot to Cirque, but the AWP responding quickly, and Ethan snuck down the catwalk. Cat's not walking anymore. This is done as well. Hobbit 1 versus 4. I think we've got our first finalist in the form of NRG, which means with Liquid still to come, it might be double North American in Malta.
Well, that would be what we're all expecting if it is going to be NRG versus Liquid. Another game between those 2 teams. It's a bit of a power tussle right now in the North American region.
Power tussle. Not a power struggle.
No, I don't know. I kind of put a tussle and
I get it. I'm just wondering where you're going. Yeah.
I put them together, but NRG put 2 and 2 together and 1-2-0.
Yeah, not bad at all. Debut from Hobbits on LAN with Hellraisers will stop with a semi-final finish. Obviously, as you said, they've interjected him into all of Bondik's positions, so they haven't really implemented him fully yet. The good news is they now have something to take home from this event to review. He's gotten decent time to play with his teammates in a LAN environment, get used to them. Obviously, he said Angel as well was one of the main reasons he joined this team, the leadership that he brings. But this is a step forward for them, no matter what.
They need, obviously, an adjustment period to get the most out of him. One of the key storylines for me is not taking too much away from Voxic and Issa, because they are the reason that Hellraisers have been able to be a contender, right? A team who made it to the top 8 at the major. So for them, this could be a good move. It's just one of those situations where only time will tell.
Certainly. With that, NRG goes through to another final. They won Shanghai this year. They've had appearances in top 4 finishes, certainly more consistency than I ever would have expected from them. So this is another great opportunity going against a team potentially in Liquid who's not good in finals, but there's also Big who's on the table and can upset and be dominant at any given time.
I do believe we have an interview with Daps on stage after that one. So take it away, boys.
Indeed. NRG are the first team to make the grand final here in Malta, and with me is Daps. First and foremost, congratulations. You made Overpass look like a walk in the park. Now, the analyst that said that, of course, it's your map pick, but we expected a bit more fight out of Hellraisers there.
Yeah, I mean, we've played Hellraisers twice this year, and I think we played them on Overpass at Star Ladder Season 4, I believe. Yeah, I mean, we looked at their map record, and we saw with their previous lineup they had a pretty good Overpass. But it's just a map we're really confident on. It doesn't matter if you have a good record or not, we're probably just going to pick it anyways, so Yeah, I don't know.
Right, on Mirage, Hellraisers got the foot through the door, but then you slammed that door on them and sent them packing. Could you give me the rundown on that one?
For Mirage? We just sort of started off slow. We obviously lost pistol on T side, and then Fugly and I screwed up the 1 versus 2 versus Woxic, just on bad timing, double peeking them together. But we slowly got back into it, luckily. A problem with us on Mirage has been starting off slow on Mirage and then not being able to get back into the game. So luckily we came back, and then T side we closed it out.
Right. Now, on an interview with HLTV, you said that this event is more like preparation for you guys, practice. Do you feel it's achieving that goal? Has it been constructive for you so far?
Yeah, when I said that, I mean, we still did a little bit of research. We're not doing as much as we usually do, obviously, because it's pretty like short time period to prepare for ECS and then this and then Pro League. But yeah, it's definitely an event we're using just to sort of hopefully do really well at Pro League.
Now, in the grand final, it's either Big or Liquid. Which one would you like to face?
I mean, we've played Big once and beat them, and we've played Liquid 6 times on LAN, and we're 2-4, so probably Big if I go to statistics, but Big's obviously a team where one day they can just completely counter everything you do and destroy you, and then Liquid's another team, obviously, where they can just destroy you as well. So I don't have a preference. They're both good teams. Yeah.
Right, confident words, and confidence is what got NRG this far. Congratulations once again, and we are heading over to the analysts to see what they make of all of this.
Well, they should certainly be confident after that performance, closing it in 2, looking strong and saving themselves from having to hit a 3rd map. Now, like Daps was just saying there, guys, first of all, he was like, okay, look, we're using this a bit of a proving ground, a bit of the training. Obviously, went ECS straight to this, and then they've got Pro League literally right after. So it's kind of get the win here, get that confidence boost. And they are looking better, right? They're looking good. We ignore the game against Liquid because it could have gone either way. There was multiple opportunities where that could have swung. But here, there was really no signs of Hellraiser taking that from them.
No, really, I think that was a clean job from NRG, right?
Yeah.
Even considering the beginning of the second map, we're talking 5-1 Hellraisers up. They have the money for them. They completely reset energy. They are in a position where they should be commanding. This is where they can decide whatever they want to do. Any duels they want to take, they should have the better weaponry. Even when it comes to utility, energy should not have the possibility to stop them. And even then, the end of the half, I think, is 8-7 for energy.
Yeah.
So this is one of these elements that makes me say energy was definitely the best team. It's not a fluke. It's not like they were a lucky scenario. They were behind, they climbed back, and once they got control over the game, that was it.
Yeah, they've been one of these teams that I've really liked to see throughout this tournament. We said from the start that we expected a kind of Liquid NRG final, right?
Yeah.
And it's certainly setting up to be that. If they can take down Big, there's only one thing standing between them and a victory. But overall, it's a very convincing map from NRG. Towards the start, we did see the slight glimmer of hope for Hellraisers, but it just fell off. And although they managed to get started well here, after like the 6th or 7th round, it was pretty much a repeat of Overpass, right?
I think also one of the things that damaged Hellraisers really was Angel didn't really come online, right? And this is not about pinpointing one player or like singling someone, but when you think about the impact that Angel has on the T side mostly, he's one of these in-game leaders. He's going to put himself out there in the tough situations. We've seen it on Overpass. He was the one going in, getting the frags, opening the rounds. He didn't have any success or that much success on Mirage, and you could see that's why they went from 5-1 to 8-7. That was, in my opinion, one of the reasons why they fell short on that T half.
Yeah, and I think especially for Angel, right? It's not so much like his fragging capability because he ended that with 7 frags. Okay, closest player to him was Dead Fox on 11, but it wasn't so much the numbers. It's just that we look at Angel to be the guy that leads that charge, leads that rush, and opens it up for the team to allow your Woxic, your Issa, your Hobbit to come in there and do the real damage. Now, one player that was shining from start to finish certainly was Woxic, right? He had that crazy ace. He had the moments where he was literally just dominating Circuit that many times got shut out of the equation there. Problem was, you still had Ethan and Breezy to deal with, and this is the thing with NRG. Once those 3 players get going and they are really feeling it, that's where Hellraisers didn't really have the answer.
I saw an opportunity there as well. When Dead Fox got that knife kill, he got the team just enough money to allow Woxic to get the op. And considering that he was, like you said, Banks, he was putting up a good performance throughout that map, I was thinking this could be it. You know, this could buy Hellraisers back in because NRG know, all right, you get knifed. It's pretty embarrassing, but then that knife leads to an op being picked up, which wins Hellraisers around. Now maybe you've got a little bit of that fighting against you, and if we just didn't give them that knife, we've got this closed out. But again, just being shut down there, it felt like every time there was a glimmer of hope for them, they just got reset straight away, or they were just shut down consistently. It's a big problem that they're facing across this map and the last one.
No, I agree, and I think even if the first half there was a little bit of a battle, the second half was totally about energy. First of all, winning the pistol round, we saw Breezy going absolutely crazy. I was even watching the video say, let's go for it. You can get the fourth one, you get the fifth one, you know. So the pistol was all energy, and then the first buy round, which actually what I would call a bonus round, right? 3 MAC-10s, 2 rifles, and we're sitting here thinking, even if they lose it, they have money, but they actually win it. And I thought that was interesting. Energy using that B tactic, kind of closing the gaps and allowing the MAC-10s to go insane on the rifles. And once Energy wins that round, you realize they have 6 to 7K in the bank, and they're completely in control.
That was something we saw as well on Overpass, right? Just the money building up for Energy to the point that it gets so difficult, right? You're struggling to win buy rounds, and even if you do, you're up against another buy round. There was a point there where Sadicus alluded to, they had 3 consecutive buy rounds that Hellraisers would have to beat off, and they could barely even get one. So it just becomes a massive problem for you then moving through the map, especially it being your map pick. Seeing it kind of slip away with that 5-1 lead that they had, and it slowly just gets further and further out of reach, and you know you're behind in the series anyways. It's you got to feel for them. It must have been a low energy second half from Hellraisers.
I like what you did there. And one thing that certainly stood out for me, right, was it was a very confident set of players that come out from NRG. This was an NRG we didn't see on day one, right? That you saw they looked a little bit shaky, and they said about it, right? Feeling a bit jet lagged. They've obviously done back-to-back events. Now they seem to be in full force, which means if they do meet Liquid, or even if they meet Big, I am expecting an NRG of this caliber to play. Because to me, it wasn't so much that they're playing against Hellraiser, because Hellraiser are a great team. I just feel like, okay, Hellraiser need a little bit more time now to bring Hobbit in, get him used to all of the changes that are happening there. Because like we said, right, we saw it in the Woxy interview. He's saying that they do a lot of talking still in the Russian language just so they can actually make sure Hobbit's fully aware, but then in-game it's all English. So there is an adjustment to be had there, and they're also going to ESL Pro League. And here we go, look, we got the AWP kills on there. In the end, Cirque ends up with more, but it was actually Woxic in terms of the impact he had there that was very kind of pivotal in just the rounds that Hellraiser's got. But that's the problem. When he wasn't, those rounds weren't stacking up.
No, obviously, and I think for Hellraisers, this event is not going to be a disappointment. I don't think they should look at it that way. No. I think Matt said it right at the casting desk, right? That was the first experience with Hobbit. They got time to play together. They got time to see how they react with each other. Probably they're going to make maybe a few changes, tactic-wise, where Hobbit's going to play. Sure. But they shouldn't be too harsh on themselves. They went up against a better opponent. I think that was more prepared overall, individually also showed up big time. So nothing to be ashamed of. Hellraisers, just go home, look at the demos, take whatever feedback you can take from it, because when you imply a new player in the lineup, when you include someone new, there's always going to be mistakes, there's going to be mistimings, maybe miscommunication. But these events, these matches are resources that you build upon for the future. And I think they are positive with Hobbit. I am quite positive for them with Hobbit, but you have to go through these loops of fire that these events are.
That's it. Pretty much their progression through the tournament went as expected. They take down Gambit, then they take down Tyloo 2-0. A very convincing second map, which was on Mirage for them, up against Tyloo. And then they go down to NRG. It's what we expected to happen. And again, they're not going to be too upset about it. And it gives them the resources to learn from their mistakes. You know, you lose and you learn is what we said. And hopefully they'll be able to develop moving forward. I'm excited to see who NRG face in the final, first of all, and how that goes down. But we will see Hellraisers again. I believe we'll have a third, fourth decider.
Yep.
So they do get one more. And that's going to be an interesting game, because then they're taking on Liquid or Big. They've got now to go off, enjoy Malta for a bit, relax, then come up tonight, build on what they've learned today, and hopefully we'll see a strong performance from them, because I think if it's Big or Liquid, that's still a big game for Hellraisers tomorrow.
Yeah, I very much think we'll see from definitely Hellraisers now. They'll take a little time to relax a sec, right? Maybe go back and watch the games from the practice rooms, and then depending on who they end up facing, that's when they go, okay, look, let's get this third place. Let's say that we can solidify ourselves here, because like we're saying, we expected these 4 teams to be where they are now. None of them slipped up in the group stage, so let's see how far who can go where, right?